Hello, Gary.
Welcome again.
Yeah,
Good
nice
to see you again.
Last time was in New York, right?
Last time was
At
in New
AES.
York, yeah.
And we had a look at the,
We had a look
the
at
32 Classic console.
Yep, the big one. Now we have the small one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
16 channels.
16 channels. Yeah.
And but that's not why I'm here today.
No, I don't think so.
I'm very curious about the new channel strip.
Yeah.
Both the rack version and the 500 series.
Yep.
And to begin with, is it the same concept or is it two different products?
It's two completely different products, but the concepts are not so different.
Yeah.
So
it's from the console.
from
right?
the console, some of it's a little bit different, but mostly conceptually it's the same.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the 500 series modules real quick.
Yeah.
So this is the preamp.
Yeah.
This has the same preamp from the console behind me. It also has the high pass, low pass filter from the console behind me.
Yeah.
So this is a nice little package. Has a front panel direct instrument input.
Yeah.
And a mic input as well.
All right.
So really a nice package. It's got the transformer balance.
It's transformer.
It's transformer. It's the same circuit that's in the console.
Was the original 32 console did not have
The
transformer?
very original one actually did. And then
Okay.
we engineered that out, and 50 years later we engineered it back in
Oh,
because
right,
the
right.
transformers are much better today than
What transformers are in it now?
this one has the Jensen, the 115
Okay.
coupling transformer in there. Very nice.
The
Very
fun
nice.
thing is the vintage 32 console that I used to work on
Yeah.
was transformerless to begin with,
Yeah.
but we modded it with Lundal
To
transformers.
put the Lundals in.
Yeah.
Exactly. The second 500 series module is a EQ.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit different than the one in the console,
Okay.
mainly because I couldn't fit all the knobs from the console EQ
Yeah,
into the 500 series. So this coming from a console called the MR3, which was just after the original 32 series.
Okay.
So it's a 3-band EQ, and the mid-band has a variable Q.
Yeah.
It also has a high-pass filter,
That's cool.
no low-pass filter. So
All right.
it's a little bit smaller package for
But then
the
you have the
EQ.
low pass filter on the mic pre instead.
Yeah,
Or- yeah.
on the preamp
Okay,
has the
okay.
low pass filter. So between the two,
Yeah, you have both.
you get a redundant high pass filter,
Yeah.
but you also get the low pass filter. Then the third module is a compressor. And this is something, it took 20 years for us to make an analog compressor, and we
Yeah.
put it in broadcast consoles in the early 90s. And so when we went to make a 500 series module, I wanted to make a compressor, so we had a very nice, very simple circuit.
Yeah.
And we pulled that forward and we made 500. So it's a feed forward VCA,
Okay.
very fast. It sounds great. Nice gain makeup on there.
Yes,
Very simple.
clamping down
Just
on- yeah,
clamping
yeah.
down. And it's a very simple, it's probably not usable for everything,
Yeah.
but
As-
very
as-
usable as
Yeah.
every
Most things,
compressor.
yeah.
Most things are. So that's the three 500 series modules that we introduced this at the AES show. No, last year at the NAMM show.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah,
it's been
I
on-
wasn't here then, so
Yeah.
it's new for me.
Yeah, it's new for you. But yeah, it's new.
That's
1 year,
awesome.
it's not so long.
Okay, so then I understand the differences.
Yeah.
Because this EQ is from the console? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we did here
Yeah.
is we took all the electronics from the channels on the console
Yeah.
and we made the 19-inch.
Yeah.
So the preamp, the line level input, insert point, filters, high pass and low pass,
Yeah.
and the classic 4-band parametric EQ,
Yeah.
all coming from the console. Also front panel input for mic or for instrument,
That's really
as
cool.
well switchable here. Then the really interesting part of this,
Yeah, this
this
looks very
is
interesting.
new.
Yeah.
So we built a summing bus into these. So now I have 4 of these channels, and on the back, you daisy chain them together with the summing bus. So now I have level control,
Yeah.
0 dB button, panning, and I can send to the mix bus. And the last one in the stack,
Yeah.
he becomes the master.
That is so
And
cool.
now you have a 4-in by 2-out sidecar.
So you could like flip
You
them
could
over like
do it
this
like
and just
that.
start building a console.
You can build your own console. And there's
That's
no
cool.
limit to
Yeah.
how many you can do other than money.
Yeah.
You'll run out of money before tech.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
So this is new yesterday. We just launched this
Oh,
product
yesterday. So it's very new.
brand new.
That is so cool.
It's already in the distribution store. So if Sweetwater have them, Thomann have some. Whoever you're buying stuff from,
That's so cool.
should have some of this available.
But this one is also with a transformer-based
Yes.
input, or yeah?
Yep.
On the output too? Or?
Not on the output.
Ah.
That's different than on the,
Yeah.
on the console. This part is coming directly from the console.
Ah.
This part is, it doesn't have the transformer. It's a little bit expensive.
Yeah,
then it'd have to go on every one.
Yeah, that's a...
And so we said, nah, that was a sacrifice we made on this one. This is about $2,000 each. So it's not cheap,
Nah.
but I'm not into making cheap things. So,
Now
but you can build a very nice, small sidecar
Yeah,
mixing rack.
that is really, really cool actually.
The other cool thing is there's two direct outputs on
Yeah.
each one. One is pre the fader,
Oh.
and one is post fader. And this is nice, so you can choose whether you want to drive if you're recording that track, or whether you want to take it before the fader.
Directly from the
Yeah.
preamp then, yeah.
And so, if you have, for example, a rack that you record drums with, the output you can feed, you can record them individually, and you have a stereo mix.
Can
of
you
that
also feed a line in into it that comes after the
Yes.
mic pre, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the line input here.
That's
So-
cool. That is separate from the mic pre.
Yeah.
So it's basically like
It's mic or line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you're recording, and you want to come back.
Yeah.
You come back into the line input,
Yeah.
and then you have a trim also.
That's
here.
amazing.
And a balanced insert point. So if you want to put a compressor or something
Oh,
else.
there's insert on it too.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So lots of features packed into that. And it looks like the console,
Yeah.
and it sounds like the console.
That's
That's the
amazing.
main thing.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey!
Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you. How's it going?
It's going great.
Cool.
I saw you have tons of new pedals,
Yeah.
but
So
this
actually,
other one I'm mostly. I mean,
yeah.
I love your amp,
Thank you.
but
So-
if I understood correctly, you took the preamp out of it.
Yes.
Made a pedal.
Yes. So the gain staging, like everything that creates distortion, is in here, but it has a new EQ. So it's not like an amp EQ, because this is meant to go in front of a clean amp or an already crunchy amp.
Yeah.
And you can add basically the gain stages from the Prometheus to any amp.
Oh,
You
yeah.
create it in a clean amp and it will sound like the Prometheus. You can use it in the green setting, which we're doing right now, into a crunchy amp, and it will just turn it into a metal machine. So I think it's best if we just show it. Like our bass sound is like just barely crunchy. I'm gonna turn it up a bit.
Yeah.
Right, it's like just borderline, just a hair of dirt.
I mean, I like that sound too.
Yeah, right.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit of overdrive. Right?
Yeah, it's like really grainy, low distortion. It's coming from the Science Mother preamp, one of my favorite preamps. And
So this is plugged into now, or?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So we're using the dirt channel of this, which is just doing like a slight crunch
Yeah.
into the Pandora and then into the 4x12. So no amp used right now.
Yeah,
And if we turn this on, it will get crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. We also have a distortion setting that has even more gain because
Yeah.
it adds another tube gain stage. So let's try that as well, I guess.
Yep.
It's just dumb levels of gain.
Yeah. That's amazing. Oh shit. So, I mean, if I have, do I have this? Do I have to have something like this
No,
to,
not at all.
Can I run this straight
Yes,
into that?
yes, yes. We just wanted to use this because Alex is a good friend of ours, and we thought like, hey, why not showcase something of a
Yeah, of
friend of
course,
ours
of
that
course.
is not here? Like,
Because I mean, I tried the amp this summer in Berlin, and
oh yeah,
I mean, it's been in the back of my mind. I need that amp, I need that amp, I need that amp. But so now maybe you shot yourself in your foot, because now I feel like maybe this is enough, because like in a studio
yeah.
environment.
I mean, it's still fine. Like, you don't have to have the amp. I just want to make cool sounds available for everyone.
Yeah, because I'm
And
figuring in a studio environment is more flexible, having
definitely, yeah.
exchange the preamp,
Exactly,
just
yeah.
have a neutral
Yeah.
power
Or run
amp.
it into any amp and just add more gain, more distortion.
Yeah.
Like I said, it works great into a clean amp, it works great into a distorted amp. We had it into a slightly crunchy one now,
Yeah.
so we can also try something else. So now the bass sound is really clean. So I'll turn this up and use only distortion from the pedal.
I can't hear what the tuning is.
Yeah, I guess it's drop. I don't know.
Drop something.
Yeah, drop something.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
thank you.
Thanks so much for showing me.
You're welcome.
Hey, how's it going, man?
That's good.
So tell them on the internet what you just said.
I said this thing is insane, to be honest. It's so easy. I mean, you can basically make it how loud as you want.
Yeah.
I tried to push it up. I maxed it out and it was like a minus 3.5.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds squashed, but it works.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is you could probably get a little bit louder if you started splitting them.
Yeah.
You know, so if you stack 3 of them, I bet you could get
Like more of them too.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's an interesting process, and to be real, the whole thing was a complete fluke. You know, we set out to try and design something else, and we found this. And what was great about finding this is it was an answer to a question that, you know, well, not even a question, but really just a conversation that Chris and I had over some French toast breakfast, where he said, you know, I get sent songs all the time that sound great and are loud.
Yeah.
You know?
So you just have to make them a little bit louder.
Yeah, and you just have to make them a little bit louder, but a lot of the tools that you can use, they have pluses and minuses. You know, some stuff affects the low end, some stuff affects the top end, and, you know, a lot of it is a compromise.
Yeah.
And when I found this, I was working on something else, and I turned this knob, and a song got really loud. So I went and looked at it on a meter, and it was 50 Ways to Lose Your Lover by Paul Simon, and it was negative 1.7 LUFS.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I gotta call somebody.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we called Chris, and we said, hey, check this out. Let us know if you hear what we hear, you know? And over time, he was throwing down more and more stuff, and it just got to the point where we had it in our beta testers, and they were using it on, you know, some pretty big records, and it started, you know, in my opinion, getting pretty ubiquitous. By the time we got to AES, people were coming up to me and, you know, asking about the knob, you know?
Oh, yeah, because you teased with the knob before.
Yeah, and you know, the knob was just the one knob,
Yeah.
but we came up with a second knob, which is, you know, why.
Yeah, I got it explained before. It's like multiple compressors stacked on each other? Or?
Yeah, you know, the effect of this could be described like the accumulation of 20 compressors that go in series and have a slightly longer attack and release times as they go on, with slightly higher thresholds and, you know, makeup gain. So as you push into the next one, it does a little bit of compression, pushes to the next one. But the big thing about it is that they have really, really, really shallow ratios. So it's almost like if you run through a 1-to-1 compressor, you know, nothing's happening. But if you run through something that's 1 to 0 to 7, something is happening, but you know,
very little.
do you hear it?
Nah.
Almost never, you know? But what happens after you stack 20 or 25 of those things, you know? And density is pretty much the ability to push further into that chain.
Yeah.
And, you know, what's interesting to me about density is that this is not a tube, you know? It isn't a tube in idea or concept, but it does something very tube-like. And when I now sit back after the fact and think about this series of compressors, I can think about, you know, the electrons flowing up a cathode, you know? And while this is not that, you know, and it never was intended to be that, What happens is the top end stays very solid. Maybe it takes a step a little bit forward, but the low end blooms in a nice, interesting musical way that isn't an EQ. It's not, something that just happens across statically on your song. It lives with your song. And then loudness allows you to just turn the whole thing up.
Yeah. So what is the filter and true peak?
So True Peak is a True Peak limiter. Currently, this is not plugged in.
Okay.
There's nothing going on there.
Yeah.
These are 3 different output choices, but really you've got 0 and 0.1 dB, and this is set up to the same as that currently. Filter is a filter. It's DC filter. But this is still in beta, and it'll be released within the first quarter. But we've got a couple things to finalize. I have a version of it that's got lighter buttons that I like better. So the buttons won't even be this color by the time it's released.
Do you wanna show a little sound clip? I have a song loaded up.
No, you have a song. I want you to do it.
You do it. Okay.
Yeah, these are your people, so let's show them what you think.
All right.
Sewn together tight. They try to come together in an unfamiliar light. It's like sleepwalking in a barren wood, wandering slowly inside an endless tomb. Decaying dreams here on a blood-soaked floor, tumbling through it all and reaching a sunlit door. A way to salvation, a way to be free. And I pass through just before my eyes. I pass through just before my eyes go black.
Here's the thing: is the meters look like that?
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, would it be possible to get also on the beta testing, or?
Yeah, I can have Ryan.
I would love to try it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.